Welcome to the Heart Guardian podcast for Healthy Heart. I'm Dr. Aman Kapoor, your host. Join us on this journey towards healthier heart. In partnership with Maharashtra Institute of Health Sciences, Chair of Preventive Cardiology and Madhabag Institute of Preventive Cardiology, we are here to provide you with valuable insights and tips for keeping your heart healthy. Our goal is to empower you with latest information on heart health, prevention strategies, and overall well-being. We will cover various topics including risk factors, lifestyle diseases, and advancements in preventive cardiology. With the support of our expert team, we will guide you towards informed decisions for keeping your heart healthy. Whether you're looking for preventing heart disease or managing your existing conditions, Heart Guardian is your companion. So sit back, relax, and join me in this journey towards keeping your heart healthy. Let's join with our expert today and understand how you can make your heart healthier with the Heart Guardian. Our today's podcast episode is going to talk about atherosclerosis, a common health concern affecting millions worldwide. In simple terms, atherosclerosis is the buildup of fatty deposits inside our arteries, which are like the highways of our blood circulation. These deposits can gradually narrow and clog the arteries, restricting the blood flow and leading to serious issues like heart attacks and stroke. But fear not, we'll delve into its causes, risk factors, and most importantly, the practical tips to prevent and manage atherosclerosis. Joining us in this podcast is Dr. Jagdish Hiremat. Sir, please guide us about atherosclerosis and how we can protect ourselves against it.
Atherosclerosis, a complex-sounding medical word, better be remembered because it's the largest and number one killer of the human beings. A friend suffered a heart attack, someone's mother got hospitalized for paralysis, are heard so often. They become part of our life experiences. We recognize it as sinister, but have stopped getting surprised because every passing day we hear about such instances. Both heart attack and paralysis and many other body events are in fact result of a disease or a pathology called atherosclerosis. Arteries of our body, especially medium-sized ones from 3 to 6 millimeters in diameter, get clogged slowly, like rust in the pipes. The thickness of atherosclerosis goes on increasing inside the arteries. The lumen or bore of the artery or the effective internal diameter of the artery gets narrowed and narrowed. The effect of such narrowing is based on many variables. The deposits of atherosclerosis are made mainly of bad cholesterol, the enemy numero uno, the LDL cholesterol, the low-density cholesterol. It's an essential substance for the body, utilized in many biochemical reactions. Along with LDL, there are some other fatty substances, fibrous strands and blood clots. As atherosclerosis gets chronic or of some duration, calcium also gets deposited and makes the plaque hard. A beginning is known as a streak. It may start in the early 20s actually. A less than 50% buildup causing less than 50% narrowing of the lumen is known as a plaque. More than 75% would be called a block or a lesion. Because atherosclerosis is a slow-growing process of years and decades, it can be present in variable extents in the same person. The plaque keeps building up in the wall of the arteries by getting more and more LDL deposition. One day, the inner lining of the arteries bursts or gets a crack, and the plaque then gets exposed to the flowing blood. The rough surface presses clotting mechanism into action. The lesion was 60 to 70% a few hours ago. It was silently harboring in the wall of the artery without causing any disturbance in that individual's life. Suddenly it becomes 90% due to the blood clot. This will result in the limitation of forward flow of the arteries, in turn leading to chest pain, sweating, low blood pressure, irregular heartbeat, and the works. A person who was going about his activities and exercises till yesterday with a chronic plaque of 50%, suddenly in hours becomes acute syndrome, acute heart attack, and if it happens in the brain, it's a paralysis of that person. If in the coronary arteries of the heart, atherosclerosis leads to acute heart attack. Because of the clogged arteries, the portion of the heart supplied by that particular artery can suffer permanent damage. In brain, it will cause brain damage. Small or large depends on which artery is blocked and the size of the area supplied by that artery. It can affect arteries of the leg, causing blackened toes known as the gangrene. Atherosclerosis, when lasts long enough, can affect all the arteries of the body. Such an individual is known as the arteriopath. That means there is pathology in every artery of the body. The overall effects of atherosclerosis are called cardiovascular diseases. As mentioned before, cardiovascular diseases is a leading cause of death world over. 50 to 60% of deaths are related to atherosclerosis. It's imperative, therefore, that we know about it, stare at it with open eyes, and act to tackle its complications and to prevent its occurrence. The foremost question that appears in the mind is what leads to the plaque? What leads to the block? What leads to the lesion? And the occlusion of the arteries. Surprisingly, medical science as of today does not know the precise answer. But there is enough to know how to tackle atherosclerosis at all levels and to feel safe about it. The singular focus is now on LDL cholesterol. We are all born with a level of 30 mg/% in our blood of LDL. Average adult has about 100 mg and above. All efforts to lower the LDL will be helpful is a safe statement to remember and to emphasize to the others. Age above 40, male gender, family history of cardiovascular disease before the age of 55, genetic tendencies are all called non-modifiable risk factors which can lead to atherosclerosis. Whereas diabetes, high blood pressure, high LDL cholesterol, tobacco consumption in any form, aggressive mental setup, obesity, especially bulging waistlines, chronic mental stress are known as modifiable risk factors. Some new factors are implemented nowadays like high resting heart rate, pollution, vitamin B12 and D deficiency. These risk factors don't add to each other but exponentially increase the risk of atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease known as ASCVD. Let's say a 50-year-old gentleman, strong family history, Indian in origin, suffering from diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, is already at a very high risk of ASCVD. And if he is overweight, non-exercising, smoker, and has a fiery temper, his chances of ASCVD are ominously high. And taking charge of the modifiable risk factors will remarkably reduce this heightened risk of ASCVD. ASCVD is a large spectrum. A person with many risk factors like diabetes, blood pressure, but no ASCVD is on one end and arteriopath is on the other end. Slow, simmering, chronic ASCVD on treatment is on one side and multiple heart attacks, bypass surgery, strokes on the other. Treatment of formed block is none at all. Just like graying of hair hasn't found a remedy yet, atherosclerotic plaque buildup cannot be dissolved by any medication. A Nobel Prize awaits such an invention. What is treated is the effect of a narrow artery. A blood clot during the heart attack or stroke can be sucked out of the artery. It can be dissolved by special blood thinners. This removal of the clot establishes the blood flow and prevents that organ damage if it is done within hours after the initial event. After this clot treatment, the cholesterol lesion, which is a material like hardened cheese, it can be squashed to the side by a steel tube that is known as a stent. The artery then gets cleared fully. The procedure is known as a stent angioplasty. It can be done to the heart, to the brain, or the leg arteries. Everything is possible. If angioplasty cannot work for some reason, blood can be surgically refashioned around the blockage. Pick up the blood from before the block. With a bypass, put it beyond the block. That's called as a bypass surgery. This bypass surgery can be done for the heart, for the brain, and also for the leg arteries. Male impotence caused by obstruction to the artery of the male sex organ can be treated with angioplasty to get vibrant results. But these mechanical treatments are at best damage controls. They put out a fire, but a firm blockage still struggles with a lack of medication or a cure. So we must think of prevention, prevent the blockages from occurring, which is possible, and it is successful to a large extent. Primary prevention is when the arteries are free of ASCVD or a block, controlling sugars, LDL cholesterol, blood pressure, weight, stress, by way of diet, yoga, exercise, and medications like statin and aspirin is known. The common sense approach should start from childhood, and like taking a bath should be an ongoing effortless process throughout the life. Early detection of ASCVD calls for simple and complex tests like blood tests, stress tests, CT angios, and catheter angio, but let the experts choose the tests for you. Future of atherosclerosis is perfecting treatment options and spreading awareness of early treatment. Future also is in prevention at all levels and early detection. In the meantime, get the basics right, identify and correct risk factors, adopt and promote a healthy lifestyle, learn CPR to save lives, reach hospitals very early for acute emergencies related to the cardiovascular system. World also awaits a magic potion which shall dissolve all the ASCVD lesions and let the individual start afresh. Though this is a fairy tale dream, who knows?
Thank you so much, Dr. Jagdish Hiremat, sir, for generously sharing your expertise and insights with us today. Your valuable contributions have brought immense value to our discussion and inspired us to prioritize our heart health and take proactive steps towards healthier heart future. Now, armed with this knowledge gained from this conversation, I'm sure, friends, it's time for action. Embrace the power you hold to make positive changes in your life, nurturing the well-being of your heart. Remember to stay connected with us by subscribing to our podcast, following us on social media, and you can find a wealth of resources in the upcoming episodes filled with informative discussions and practical tips to support your healthy heart. Thank you for being an essential part of Heart Guardian podcast for Healthy Heart. Together we can make and create a future where our hearts beat stronger and we live life to the fullest. Our heart and your heart matters. We are here to support you in every way. Goodbye for today.